Travis Andrew Lee.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
How are you?
I am great.
Happy Margarita Day.
I didn't. That explains so much around here.
It's National Margarita Day, apparently.
Do you drink margaritas or do you just drink beer?
I've been known to have a margarita every now and again.
I don't know if once you become a crazy beer drinker, if it just is the only thing you can drink.
I think Andrew's just a regular beer drinker.
Yeah, just a normal, average.
Just have an IV of beer at all times going into you.
That would kill you.
That would, yeah.
Yeah.
Too many bubbles. If you're going to do an IV, you got to do wine.
Oh.
Less bubbles.
I think
If you use red wine, it looks like blood anyway.
You don't want the carbonation going into your veins.
a fun project would be to celebrate every one of these days of the year or whatever they're the made up holidays that aren't anything like Margarita Day.
Right.
National Pants Day, things like that you've never heard of.
National No Pants Day.
No, that's every day. Don't make any sense. Yeah.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It happens every week. I stabbed myself in the car, so I'm bleeding now.
That happens every week?
Wow,
Yeah.
What do you do? Why?
I was looking for chapstick to lend to somebody,
Oh, yeah.
which is a gross habit.
Yeah, don't use other people's chapstick.
Welcome to herpes.
That's really... Chapstick costs like $1.50.
Yeah, but I ain't got no time to buy some.
I ain't
Look,
got no
So you're just going to use somebody else's?
Look,
Yeah.
I'm cleaning it.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Why do you use colored chapstick?
Use other people's toothbrushes, too?
Are you a girl?
Wet in a pinch. Yes.
Like, this
disgusting.
is colored. Look at this.
Well, you're lucky
Nice
it
little
wasn't
shade of pink.
lip shimmer. Burt's makes that as well. On the show today, we'll talk about the presidential race. South Carolina primary is over. Dr. John Spry is coming in to help us read the tea leaves. John Spry, he has a thing where it's like looking into a crystal ball or reading the tea leaves, except it's with numbers, logic, and reason, and not made up. He says it's a two-person race. At 7:30, we'll find out who he thinks those two people are.
It's clearly down to no more than a three-person race.
Well, it's certainly, and it's not you and me.
It's not you and me. It's not you and me and Lump.
Aw.
It's clearly on the Republican side, Trump, Cruz, Rubio.
Trump, Cruz, and me.
Jeb Bush dropped out over the weekend. One child left behind.
Yeah, great
Oh.
picture
Yeah.
on the Facebook.
Go to the Twin Cities News Talk Facebook page. Jeb Bush dropped out over the weekend. I can't imagine that Kasich and Carson are too far behind. Maybe they'll get past the big Super Tuesday, March 1st, when a bunch of states hold their primaries and caucuses, including here in Minnesota. Maybe they'll hold out till then, but beyond that, they're pretty much done.
There was an article last week that Ben Carson said he's got this locked up. It's in the bag.
In what world?
Give it some time.
In what planet does he live on?
But, there was also an article last week that said Jeb Bush is close to dropping out. And the Bush campaign said, I don't think so. And they did.
Yeah.
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 He needed a strong second in South Carolina to keep any hopes alive and keep any momentum going. And that didn't happen. Trump rolled to victory, and Cruz and Rubio very close second and third place.
And this is the article here in Politico, inside Jeb Bush's $150 million failure that breaks down. And again, I understand Politico, not always right, and everything is written with a bias. But if true, a very interesting look at the entirety of Bush's campaign and the mistakes that this writer thinks they made.
I wonder if we're seeing if this campaign is going to be looked back upon as a major shift in American politics, where the influence of those big money donors, those big money PACs, is significantly waned. Because in years past, you put together a campaign war chest like Jeb Bush had, and you spent like Jeb Bush did, probably would have cruised to the nomination. Definitely would have still been considered a front runner. But you're seeing these insurgent campaigns, these somewhat self-funded campaigns, and campaigns that are relying on small donors, like the Sanders campaign, and even the Trump campaign to an extent, relying on small donors, big numbers of small donors that are doing very well. But it's more than that. It's more than just the money. It's the earned media.
Sure.
It's the ability to leverage your social media influence. It's the ability to get your evangelicals, and I don't mean that in the religious sense. I mean that in the true believers of that candidate sense. Your evangelicals to do a lot of work for you on your behalf and promote you via their social media networks. And the candidates that do that well, Obama did that very well. Sanders does it very well. Trump does it very well. Cruz does it pretty well too, where you have a lot of people that are online promoting you to their networks, to their social media friends. The candidates that can leverage that very well and get a good number of small donors can overcome somebody like a Jeb Bush, who raised and spent more than anybody else, and now he's gone.
Yes, but I think oftentimes social media can be overstated as far as its reach and influence.
Maybe.
Compared to, now I know that I am not a presidential candidate, but every time I look at radio listener numbers, I am blown away in that, that's what a high number looks like. Radio listenership, because radio's reach is amazing.
It is.
And we tend to, I think, overstate the kind of reach you have on social media. Like I've got thousands of social media followers. Not even close to what the radio numbers are. So I since learning more about how broadcast radio works, I don't put all my eggs in the social media basket, I guess.
But when you have,
and then if a Kardashian were to run for president, then yes,
you have thousands of followers. If 65% of your followers were all promoting you actively, who knows how many followers they have? Sure. Hundreds to thousands of followers that they have. It's the reach can be exponential when you have a large number of people doing work on your behalf.
Okay.
And that's what Donald Trump has leveraged extremely well. It's kind of been one of the underreported aspects of his campaign and of his success, is the fact that he took, millions of social media followers that he'd gathered up over the course of the years of being, host of The Apprentice and just being Donald Trump and being this outspoken guy who says outrageous things, built himself up a larger social media following than any of the other candidates, and then immediately leveraged that to give himself possibly a sense of false momentum. Okay. But it was there.
Difference. I need social media followers who like me and give a damn. Follow me at Jack Tomczak, and of course, like my page on Facebook.
I wonder how history is going to look back on this campaign.
I think a blip.
Really?
But
I don't.
Bush, yes.
Right now,
I say
I don't.
Bush had a ton of money, yes, but a million flaws. The biggest of which is his last name that he could do nothing about. I do think that Donald Trump changed everything for this year, but Ronald Reagan changed everything for 1 year. Nobody learned anything from it. I think for now, money is going to rule the day. And I put this on my Facebook page, $150 million for Jeb Bush. Can you imagine what that could have done put elsewhere? I don't get why.
I'm not saying that money won't continue to rule the day.
Sure.
But I do believe that when you look at the...
You think social media is going to stick around?
Oh.
Bold.
Maybe.
Bold take.
I think social media and the... using social media to build up a huge network of small donors is not overtaking, but it's waning the influence of big money donors and big money super PACs.
Sure.
Back, in the past, you needed to line up as many big money donors and big money PACs on your side as possible, whereas now you can run I don't want to say successful, because successful means you have to win, but you can certainly run a strong campaign and give yourself a chance without those big money super PACs.
At 8:15, Republican candidate for Congress in the 2nd Congressional District, that is the same race that has Pam Myra, who was in last week, and Jason Lewis. Former State Senator John Howard joining us over the phone. We're going to talk about his race. More Jason Lewis quotes pulled from the radio. news. We'll find out what former Senator Howe thinks about that. Boss man, what's at the top of the news bag for when we return?
Tom Emmers made some news with his efforts to end the Cuban embargo, and a bus exploded on the way to Minneapolis.
That plus what Lump and I did this weekend.
Oh, boy.